Okay, so the first thing we need to do is you're going to need to cook chicken breast. And I use a pressure cooker, so I'll cook it for about 20 minutes. And then you want to cut it into chunks. So I cut mine in about 1/2 inch chunks. So I'm cutting it longitudinally. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip each one of those over and cut it along on the long way. All right, so you want to go ahead and, unfortunately I had a little bone in here, and you'll see it later, but my knife is so sharp it just goes right through it. So anyway, I just want to chop this chicken up, and this is the breast meat. I haven't tried it with thigh meat, and I reckon it would taste pretty darn good, but you know, right now I just kind of wanted to get this video out there. All right, so we're going to put that aside. And here's a little trick that I've used. We're going to go ahead and crack an egg into a bowl. And I like to mount the egg with butter. So I'm going to have 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to melt it in the microwave. And I'm going to begin to whisk the egg. And when you whisk the egg and you add the hot liquid to the egg, it won't cook your egg. So it's essentially being tempered, but it's almost like I'm making a hollandaise sauce here. So the butter will emulsify in the egg itself. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that done, put that bowl aside. And we're going to go ahead and add the 1/3 cup of cheese. You can use mozzarella, you can use provolone, you can use a good melting cheese, or even the one that you're going to put on your pizza itself, which is what I actually did. We're going to go ahead and stir that in there. And you know, kind of scrape down the sides of the bowl. Again, this process is so easy. This is not hard at all. And when it's pretty well mixed, we're going to go ahead and set that aside. Now, I have a food processor, and I'm going to pour my chicken in there. And we're going to go ahead and put the lid on that. And that's why I had to cut it up into kind of uniform pieces, because I'm going to pulse it 10 times. All right, for 1 second each. So it's like 1,000, 2, 1,000, you know, on, off, on, off, on, off. All right, and we're essentially making a flour-like consistency out of the chicken breast. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add that to the egg mixture. And then we're going to go ahead and mix. All right. First, you can probably do what I was doing, and I'm only using a liter bowl here, so there's one of the bones I found. So anyway, I wound up biting down on another one after the pizza had been cooked, but it's not a big deal. All right, so you want to go ahead and get it mush. Just keep mixing it till it turns into a paste, and it will paste down. And then once you get it kind of tamped down that way, you can actually begin to fold it. So I'm getting it folded here. And we're just folding it over and over until it becomes a uniform paste. All right. So again, nothing to it. This is actually a real simple thing. Just scrape off my rubber scraper there. And get it all nice and pretty. And then from this point on, we're going to go ahead and I used an 8x8 square Pyrex, and we're going to throw some lard in there. Lard has a very high flash point, so it's a really good fat. It obviously lubricates very well, and the one that goes up on the sides is not going to burn and smoke. All right, because we're going to cook this thing at 220 centigrade, which is about 450 Fahrenheit-ish. And so we went ahead and put that in there, and at first we're just going to spread it out using our fingertips. And again, it's going to be pasty. This has no gluten, so it's not going to be springy. It's not going to recede. It's not going to come back on you. Alrighty. So just get it over to the edge. Now, I have a high dish here because I'm actually making more of a Detroit style. You'll see when you notice the cheese all caramelized on the side. All right, but if you need to put it on maybe a sheet of aluminum foil, or I just use a pizza pan directly, you'll want to give it kind of a little lip on the edge so that obviously your sauce and your cheese doesn't run out. And then I like using the flat palm because I can feel high spots, all right? And then, once I get that done and get that smushed around, I'm going to go ahead and use my fingertips and tamp it down. So there is the crust, and that's about half an inch to maybe 3/4 thick. And again, I started with about 200 grams of breast meat. So there you have it. And here's the sound.